What is up, everybody? My name is Andrew, and welcome back to Space Engineer Survival 2024. This is episode number 29, and we're starting off fixing some stuff from last episode. These solar panels, specifically Solar Tower C here, was completely destroyed by a Reaver attack, so we're going to go ahead and fix that. I've already got everything in place, and we really just need to go over and weld it. But other than that, this is going to be a ship episode mostly. We're going to do a little bit with this solar panel stuff, trying to make it a little bit more robust. But then we're going to be dealing with some ships. We're going to be getting some PAM ships for the PAM base that we set up last episode. We're going to be revamping the recaffeinator a little bit because it's not doing so well with those subgrids. And we're going to be, what else are we going to do? There, oh, right, we need some way to get the materials from our new PAM base to our old PAM base, which has all the refining capabilities. So that's also what we're going to do. So lots of ships in this episode, but by the end, we should have a pretty decent system. I also might, I'm still kind of thinking about it, I also might revamp the code system that we use to make it a little simpler. Currently, we've got 6 digits, 3 of them being the ship ID and 3 of them being the status that we're sending back. But I might do a 222 system, which was recommended in the comments, where two digits are the ship ID, 2 digits are the status code, and the other 2 digits are extra info, like the location, for instance, if it's landed, or if it's requesting a resource, the last 2 digits might be which resource it's requesting, you know, stuff like that. So I think that's what we're going to try to do in this episode. And I'm still kind of thinking about revamping those signals, but I think I'm kind of leaning toward it. So I'm thinking we might. We're missing a couple things for these solar panels. These ones over here, what are we missing for these? Let's grab this and check. Solar cells, okay, so we didn't bring enough, but that's fine. We can grab these by hand. While the ship is here, I want to go ahead and throw up my lights here because these are going to be important in making sure that we see this and don't run into it. And then also, I think we should probably try and weld this guy. We'll get it with the ship if we can. Let's see. We should be able to get this, right? Yep, there we go. There's our camera. And here is light number 1 and light number 2 coming in over here. So there we go. There's our solar panel back up and running. Now all we have to do is tell it to pretty much aim at the sun and we should be good. So let's leave our ship kind of floating right here for a second. And let's go ahead and tell it that. And always aim at the sun. Yes. Okay, so now it should be, yep, there we go. Oh, we need to turn on inertia tensor for this guy right here. Let's go ahead and hit that. Boom. And there we go. We now have a solar tower C back up and running. And is the script picking it up? No, the script is not picking it up. Why not? Oh, because it needs a group. That's why. All right, there we go. Solar panels tower C, and that should update. Yes, it has, giving us the total and the average. Nice. Okay, perfect. Actually, you know, now that it's showing me this, I think the one in our control room is cut off a little bit because it's not showing us the total. It's only showing us tower C average. So I'll need to check on that because that would be nice to see the total as well. But there, oh, well, okay, we need to get the rest of it done. Here, let's bring the, well, actually, I want to keep this here because I want to work a little bit. Actually, we can do this now. You know what? Let's weld up a little bit of this. I put a couple blocks down over here because I want to kind of expand this wall a little bit. The idea was for this to go a little bit further and then be kind of like an actual like wall looking thing, but we never quite got there. So I guess now we can make that dream a reality now that we're here with the barista, as well as tons of steel plates. Well, there we go. It looks like we've run out of steel plates just like that. So let's go ahead and head home with the barista. It did about as much as it could, but I mean, it did pretty well. Let's head back, get this guy locked back up. And look at all those decoys that we have around this main area. I kind of want to do the same thing around the solar panels, the solar farm. I think having decoys there would allow us to allow the Reavers to not target our solar panels, which would be very nice. So maybe we're gonna do that. Number 8, there we are, connected. Nice. And I guess I got a couple steel plates on me. Yeah, I'll just bring this stuff. It'll be fine. Okay, so now that there's a giant hole right here, I'm thinking we're gonna fill this in a little bit. So we'll at least extend this all the way down to the floor there, kind of like we've done for the other areas. And if they keep making holes, we'll keep extending it until eventually it's extending to the core of the planet. But here, let's turn on our light here as well. I always forget to do that. I don't know when it turns off. Maybe I turn it off when I'm... Oh, I know why. I was checking on the lights of the other base. That's probably why. So we'll extend that all the way down there, and then we'll extend this. I want to go probably about 3 blocks out at least. And then we'll bring this wall a little bit closer as well, like that. And bring this over here also. So I think that'll look a little bit better. It'll actually look kind of like what I was intending it to look in the first place. And then we'll do the same thing over here. 3 blocks out, 1, 2, 3, and extend that all the way down this way. And we're out of steel plates. That's about as far as we can go with that. So there we go. That's not that bad. Let's go and grab the steel plates for this, because we're missing, not the steel plates, the solar cells for this. We're missing 3. There's 1, 2, and then the half one right there, and that should be everything. Okay, let's go and grab that stuff. Get this solar tower finished, and then we'll do the decoys, and we'll move on to the main part of this episode, which will be the ships. All right, there's 1, here's 2, and I don't know that I've got enough for this one. Yeah, we're missing a couple of the solar cells still, so let's go grab them. Oh, by the way, that awkward looking marker over there, someone told me platinum is not actually PL, it's PT, so we're saved. We're gonna name that NIPT. There we go. Thank you. We've been saved. All right, let's grab the last remaining stuff here and maybe a couple steel plates as well. We do not have space for... What's all of our space being used by? Can I withdraw 2 solar cells? Okay, what if I put my ammo in my gun back? Now? Okay, now we can get it all. I'm unarmed, but at least we can get our solar panel up and running. And there we go. And we still... Why did we have... We had double or something. Oh, because we had one still in our build planner from when we loaded all that stuff to the barista. Okay, anyway, how many steel plates do we have? Just 4? That's not really enough to do anything. So we're gonna go back to the barista. We're gonna grab enough for a couple truss decoys and a bunch of steel plates as well, and then we'll get working. So I want truss, and I want I'll go truss lights too, I guess. Truss lights and truss decoys, and we're gonna control click a couple of these into the ship. So control, boom. There we go. We'll do it again. And we'll do it again, and then we'll grab a couple of these steel plates as well, because we're gonna need a bunch of them. Now, steel plate wise, we're getting a little bit low, but I've got 10,000 in production. And speaking of production, I was curious how many ingots we had on us. And when I went to ingot container, this is what I saw: 2,427,000 ingots. Right, so that's an insane amount of iron, and we have another probably 1,000 back at the PAM base. So we're like never gonna run out of iron because of PAM. we're just fine on iron forever. That's interesting. And our Gerfaso Maniac isn't even really doing stuff. We have a problem with the Gerfaso. Actually, we should probably sort that out real quick. We have a problem where when it lands, for some reason, it doesn't activate the event controller, and I don't know why. It's this one right here where it says transport event controller base. If the cargo filled is equal or less than this amount, then it should activate that. But it's not doing that. Yeah, so it's looking at cargo 1, cargo 2. You know what? I bet you I know why. You know, I bet you it's this. I bet you this is it. Transport timer minimum base. Yeah, this has got to be it. When I look at setup actions, all it's doing is turning on the event controller for the base. Yeah. Okay, we figured it out. So what's happening is basically the way the event controllers work, from what I understand. I've not looked at the code or anything, but from what I understand, when they notice a container go from, above 5% to less than 5%, they trigger. However, if you turn on the event controller when it's already below 5%, it's not going to trigger. And I don't think there's a way to make it trigger on it, like when it initially detects that when you turn it on. So that's what's happening. We basically a couple episodes back, we set up a minimum timer so that when it lands, it has to stay here for a minimum of like 5 seconds so that it can refill its hydrogen, or its battery rather. I actually don't remember why we did that. I think maybe it's to decrease the oxygen. But yeah, what's happening is it's landing here, it's sucking everything out of the ship, and then once that minimum timer goes by, it's turning on the event controller, but since everything's already sucked out of the ship, it's not detecting a change. So what we need to do is remove that minimum timer. I don't remember exactly why we added it in the first place, so we're just gonna get rid of it for now. Instead of running the minimum timer, we're gonna run this event controller. We're gonna say toggle block on, and that should solve our problem. We're not gonna be using this minimum timer anymore. I'll keep it on the ship because why not? But we're gonna turn it off and just basically not use it. Okay, so now it should do all of its trips automatically. So we'll let it go ahead and go on its merry way and do its thing. All right, so with that doing its thing, now we can go back to setting up the solar panel over there, which I think we just need to take off the ship. All right, the barista's got a full load of cargo here, so it's a little heavy and a little hard to navigate. Let's start with this stuff over here, I think. these blocks, if we can stop in time, which I think we should be able to. Yep, there we go. We'll start with this stuff right here. Get those blocks welded up. And the thing I love about welding, of course, is that as you weld, your ship gets lighter, which means it's more maneuverable as you go. It's very nice. All right, here we go. There's one side. Nice and good. And here's the other side. Do we have enough steel plates for all this, by the way? Yeah, we should. We have 3,000 steel plates left over, and we only needed about 600 for the trusses and all that stuff. All right, and there we go. That's going to be all of those welded. So let's go ahead and land right here if we can. We'll turn off our dampener there, and we're going to set up what's going to be these decoys. Now, I'm thinking what we want to do is probably set them up so that they're back here. So we'll have a bunch of decoys kind of farther back. Actually, yeah, that's not a bad idea. We'll go out from here, and we'll set them up kind of on the outskirts. Kind of like that. So we'll have them come out like that. We'll decoy, and then we'll do the same over here. So how far did we go out there? Was it 10 blocks? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We went out 9 blocks and then 5 on either side. 4, 5, and there we go. That's going to be these set up. Well, not set up, but positioned. So we now have positions for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 trusses and decoys. So let's go ahead and put those up. We'll go to our truss blocks and we'll go up 1, 2. Then we'll do, actually, I think we'll do the same thing we did. So we'll do 1, 2 like that. Then we'll do a decoy right there. And then we'll do a truss light right there. There we go. So it should look pretty cool. And we'll do the same here. And we'll continue this down the line as well. So one light like that, and then truss light like that. Nice. Okay, there's everything set up. Now all we have to do is go ahead and weld it. And this should be instant protection for these solar panels. Hopefully the Reavers will target these beacons instead. And we'll know that a beacon's gone if a light is missing. Okay, let's turn this on and let's head over here. And I don't know if I want to weld up the entire structure around it. Maybe we'll just start with the beacons. I don't think we have enough steel plates to go crazy with everything. There we go. Maybe I'll keep this one unwelded, but then this one over here where everything's already welded, I'll weld up just the center one. All right, here's our last couple of them that we're gonna weld. We gotta be a little quick here. Our hydrogen's running a little low. We should have enough though, as long as we stay above 20% before we head back. Should be good. So this, by the way, is what it looks like when we welded everything up right here. Not that bad, I don't think. So maybe we'll weld up the other ones once we get their turrets set up. But we're not gonna do that right now because this episode's mostly gonna be focused on the ships that we wanted to build, the PAM ships, the transport ship, that sort of thing. So let's head back, get this thing connected, and we'll get to that part of the episode, which should be fun. All right, with only 5 hydrogen to spare, here we go. Let's go ahead and connect, and we're good. Okay, I'm gonna put everything that I don't need down here. So all this stuff right here that I don't need, I'll keep the steel plates, I'll keep the construction components, I'll keep the interior plates. So the next part of this episode is going to be building PAM ships. Right, we need to build 2 PAM ships. We need to build a PAM ship for the platinum, for sure. And then we need to build a PAM ship for the gold. Those are the 2 main things that we want, gold and platinum. And eventually maybe we'll go with the silver, or maybe we'll convert one of our gold ships into a silver one. I don't know, but we're gonna get 2 more PAM ships up and running. And we'll get those stationed here basically. So PAM ships. I think probably the easiest way to do the PAM ships is, I could set up like a little welding station. Is that overkill if I set up a welding station to weld PAM ships? I mean, it could come in handy if we ever needed to rebuild the decaffeinator or the recaffeinator. We could use a little welding station. The problem is I'm not very good at building welding stations. We could definitely build it off this. Okay, let's attempt a small ship printer. We're gonna try and figure this out. I've built one of these before in a past series, but I'm not entirely sure how they work because the one I did was really, really simple. It was basically a piston with a welder on it. But I think there's ways you can use sensors to tell it when to like back up and stuff. So we're gonna have to figure that out. I think maybe we'll start with a floor, as all rooms start. And it's not gonna be a crazy big room. It might even be outside. We might not roof this. In fact, since it's welding small ships, it makes sense that we wouldn't really want to roof it. How far does a piston go? Because what I'm thinking is we might want to have a piston right here, basically coming this way. And we might want to have a piston right here coming this way. And the ship would be built kind of in the middle right there. So it would weld and then back up as it goes. But if I'm doing it like that, it might be better suited to have the first piston be kind of on this axis right here. Right there, I think. So maybe this would be a better area. So if I did something like that, then I'd have a piston like this, which would go like that, 2 welders, and I could stick basically a ship kind of in the middle right here and have it weld everything up. If I for instance went like this and then had the ship kind of positioned right there. In fact, I could even have, that's kind of in the way, isn't it? Maybe I move the pistons over 1 block. So our pistons would now be there and there, meaning we could have the ship be kind of like right there. And then maybe I don't need pistons on the other side. Maybe I can just do it like this. Because these pistons will go out this far. 1, 2, 3, 4, right there. And the welder will be an additional 2. So this is the farthest that it will go out. Maybe I do want pistons on the other side though. I don't need to make it go that far. This is the minimum distance it will go out. That's the farthest distance it will go out. Maybe I want that to be the center though. I have that be the center. The problem with this then is that this is the maximum size the ship could ever be. It could never be any bigger than this. Unless we move this back like a block, then it could be a little bit, it could be 1 block bigger, and so on and so forth. If I move it back 2 blocks, it'll kind of be in the way of this window. But do I care? Maybe not. Hey, I think that's more like it. That's actually pretty good. So then the middle would actually be there instead. 1, 2, 1, 2. Yeah. Okay, that's better. I think maybe I'll do it like this then. So we'll have our little ship printer be right there. We'll have these come back like that. And then I'll probably put like, I'm gonna try to use like a sensor. I don't really know how that's gonna work, but if I give them a sensor range to like right in front of this, they should be able to move back and forth depending on that. I don't know. Okay, so I've seen this in in the Space Engineer's main menu where it's showing all that stuff. I've seen a printer like this. So that's kind of what I'm going off of. Okay, so let's back this up a little bit. I'm sorry, window, you're gonna have to go. It's nothing personnel, kid. Let's put this right here. And here's what I'm thinking also. What if I back this down? What if this middle thing can go up and down as well? That would, I think, help things out. If I could have like a little piston down here that brings everything down here up and down. And maybe I'll put it on a small grid piston. So we'll put everything down here like so. All right, I've been cooking a little. I fell down a hole. I've been cooking a little bit, and I connected this right here, so we now have cargo right there, which is good. I've also made a piston right there because essentially I want this to not be visible as long as it's down in the hole. But as soon as I want to use it, I can make it come up, and then I can use it right here. So then I can have this area clear in case I want to bring any other ship here just for like repairs or whatever. So this right here is going to get deconstructed and go down inside the hole right there. There we go. We've also got a ladder shaft right here, which will bring you down to the appropriate level. And then let's build that up. We need a couple large steel tubes. No problem. That's why we have our little connection right here. We can grab that stuff easily. Okay, there we go. So this is going to have not a large head. We're gonna have a small one. So let's go down here and attach a small head right there. Let's see if we can build that up. Yes, perfect. So on that is going to be, I want this to not be able to move, so we're gonna go ahead and rotor lock that. Yep. And then we're gonna add a one of these. Boom. So that's going to allow for connections if we want to use it. We might not use it, but in case we want to, it'll be there. And then to the side of that, maybe I'll remove this block right here and make it a small one. All right, on this, we're gonna put a merge block, a projector, and a control panel that we can control from here. So now what I want to do is maybe put a button, I don't know, here. This should let us do this. So projector piston right here, we're gonna set it to extend, and it should start coming up. And we can set it to retract. Unfortunately, I can't set it to stop, so maybe I need to do that. All right, there we go. We now have actual names on these, so I can tell it to extend. And then if I want to stop, the only thing I can really do is tell it to turn off. So there we go. And then if I turn it on again, it'll just start going again. So yeah, that's that. If I wanted to make this work a little bit better, I could add maybe some timer blocks that would let me do extend, turn it on. I could have something turn it off, and then I could have retract also turn it on again, so I don't have to press this one whenever I want it to move again. But anyway, yeah, that's, yeah, okay. So we now have this set up. Let's get this bit set up right here. We have a parallax dude complaining about something, but I don't think, maybe it's this independent contractor kind of hanging out over there, causing that to complain. But anyway, we've got this mostly set up. Let's get the projector set up now. We've got this right here, so this should go pretty quickly. We'll go right click on this, and then kablam, grab everything. There we go. So all these are now welded up. We need to get the connections done. So this one right here, and probably this. We'll get this turned into a straight piece. Yep, there we go. Okay, so the big question is, how do I get stuff from over there to over here? Can I at least connect those? I'm thinking I want to go underground instead of going into the wall here, since this stuff is all kind of, you know, separated for a reason. So this is our, that's our ingot connect, no, this is our ingots, that's our ores. So this is all separated over here just to be that stuff and nothing else. And then same thing over there, that's our assembler stuff. It hasn't even gotten to the storage yet. So I'm thinking the easiest way will be to actually go underground like that, which won't be too much of a problem. Except for the fact that I need to figure out a way to go through here. Go under this way. That wouldn't be a bad idea. Maybe I'll just go ahead and put a second cargo container here, because why not? Okay, this should be the last trip, hopefully, if we can get everything in this one go. Nope, we're just missing a couple of steel plates and motors, but it should be most of the stuff. Yep, just a couple motors. And with that, that should be this side now connected. Perfect. Now we need to connect these two right here. So 1, 2, 3 actually. Use that cargo container right there. And there it is. All right, so everything is now connected. Okay, so we've got most of the setup done. All we need to do now is get these sensors going, and I'm not sure how these are gonna work. So we're gonna kind of have to figure it out as we go. Can I use them like this? Left extent. Ah, okay. So now if I go into info and show sensor field range, can I see? Ah, there we go. Now we can see our sensor field range for that. Okay, so I want that sensor to basically just extend in front of this, and as long as it detects something, I want this to move backwards, and if it doesn't detect something, I want it to move forward. That's the idea. So how do I do that? Let's find out. Okay, so I want the left and right to extend about 2 meters, so we're gonna extend basically the range of this, maybe 2.5, so we're right in the middle. Yeah, probably 2.5. Okay, so you consider that your bottom. So bottom extent's gonna be the minimum possible, because I don't care what's behind it. I more care what's in front of it. Top extent is that. Okay, so top extent, I'm gonna say another 2.5, and we'll see where that lands us. All right, so with that, that's our sensor range right there. I think I want the top to go to a little further, and then this right here, which was considered the front, I think, would need to go further as well. Okay, so that right there would be our sensor field range for this. So essentially, if it's detecting something in this range, it should be moving back. If it doesn't detect anything in that range, it should be moving forward. So I'm gonna call this piston, printer piston A. Okay, so hopefully I have this right. If it detects, I want it to retract, and if it does not detect, I want it to extend. Okay, so there we go. Let's see if that works. Yeah, actually, that does work. If I'm in it, it's going back. If I'm not in it, it's going forward. So now all I have to do is go over here and tell this to only detect small ships. If I can do that. Ah, yes, okay. I don't care about the proximity. Detect players, no. Please detect players for now so I can test this. Detect floating objects, no. Small ships, yes, that's what we want. Large ships, no. Stations, no. Subgrids, no. And it should be good. Okay, so I'm gonna tell this to not detect players. So now, basically, once it detects this, it's gonna start moving back. It's gonna kind of chill here. Never mind, I need to detect subgrids. Okay, so now that it detects subgrids, it should hang out right here. It should kind of just like float around right there. Yeah, perfect. Okay, so that right there, that's the dance of life. That's how we know this thing's working. Ideally, I should probably have a button that would tell it to not do that, but you know what? I'm fine with it doing that for now. No one make any jokes. I'm gonna set these other ones up real quick, and I'll come back once they're all doing that, and we should be good. Okay. All right, the piston dance has begun. So, they're all now doing their thing, and yeah, I guess now if I put anything here, they'll start retracting, and they'll, you know, go to the size of whatever it's gonna be. I need a button to turn on the welders. Maybe I'll just throw that right here. All right, we've got them all dancing, and you can see their area of effect here. They're all set with the same settings. I've got them oriented, so literally the same offsets apply to each of them. I'm gonna turn off those show on HUDs real quick, so I don't get sick from looking at all those everywhere. There we go, turn off those show on HUD. There we go. Now we have these just kind of chilling right there. And if I were to stick a ship, you know, like if I were to go out like this, let's say I just go all the way back like that. These will just keep going back until, you know, until they can't anymore, basically. And that's how this is going to work. Now when I remove them, they can forward again. So yeah, all I had to do, well, I guess I set up the one off camera, or on camera, so you saw how I did it. But basically just set that extent right there, and then set up these settings to detect small ships. I actually do want to detect large ships so that they don't run into each other, just in case. Then subgrids and everything else should be good. So over here I have a little panel right there where I can turn on the welders. And if I do that, they're on. And then I have a sensor on off right there. And if I do that, they're going to be all weird, but I have a piston override here, so I can tell the pistons to retract. So essentially, when I'm not using it, I'll just have it be kind of like back here. And when I do want to use it, I'll just go ahead and turn on the sensors, and it should override everything here. Actually, it won't. So I'm going to say extend, and then the sensors will turn on and do their thing. Okay? So, let's go ahead and turn off these here. I need to go grab some energy. But once I do, I'm going to throw on the Heretical John up here, the Heretical John Mark III, and we're going to build a version of that for the new pan base over there. So let's go get our energy, and we'll go ahead and do that. It'll be our first test of the system. So on our printer projector over here, I'm going to set up the Heretical John Mark II, and we're going to have to position it. So what I'm going to do real quick is I'm going to say keep projection. It doesn't matter that much. I guess I just need to be, if I keep projecting, I need to be a little wary that these don't start welding up a second one kind of halfway while this one's flying away. Although I guess it wouldn't really matter. But anyway, let's get this positioned upward. So we're going to give it a vertical offset of, you know, something. I need to figure out where this sits best. And I think it might be, it's not bad. See, that won't be able to weld everything though. I don't think we can weld this stuff. But what I can do actually is I can bring this down a little bit. Let's go ahead and retract, turn it on, and then off. Because I can set this to the correct height that I want it to be at. I guess I can go down a little bit more if I wanted to. But I think I'm fine with that. So this actually should be weldable, right? Yeah, this should work. So in theory, if I turn on everything right now, I guess it won't work because of this, right? And we don't want it to really connect here. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to give this a higher vertical offset of something like this. So those are away from that. I'm going to bump this up so that it now connects to that. Boom, just like that. So that's connecting again. And I'm going to retract this a little bit further even to about maybe, let's retract a little further. Probably to about there. So that should allow it to weld everything up. All right, let's give this a try. See if it works. 3, 2, 1, hit those welders and let's see. I hope it works. We'll very quickly find out. It seems to be working so far. This is kind of cool. It might miss some of these actually. So this is good to know. And what I'm going to do out here real quick is I'm going to share an inertia tensor on that guy. Oh, did I crash the game? Okay, for a second I thought I did. Yeah, so it's having a little trouble. No, it's getting them though. I was going to say it's having a little trouble with these middle blocks, but I think it's gotten them. So it actually missed a couple of these over here, unfortunately. For the most part, it got the ship. I missed that as well. Yeah. Okay, so I don't need it to be this far off. What I could do for these sensors is I could change their offset here a little bit. Here, let me try that. Let me go to my sensors, printer sensors, and since they're all set up the same way, the offset that I want is going to be the top extent right here, and I'll change that to 3.5. And that should let them get a little bit closer to the ship. And actually, yeah, that's like the perfect distance, I think. With that, they're able to weld up some of that stuff that they weren't able to before. They're not able to get that. I could get them a little closer even. This is kind of close, but honestly, you know what? I think this is actually pretty good. I think having it set up like that's pretty good. And maybe when I do the second one, it'll weld a little bit better. It might get that little interior bit. Okay, so what I'll do here then is I'm going to go ahead and turn off my welders. I'm going to turn off my sensors. And I'm going to retract my pistons here, so they all go away from this. And then I'll just manually weld up this last few things. And there we go. With that, I think... Anything else? I'm looking in here to see. Can't tell. It looks like there might be a block in there that didn't get... Oh, and these didn't get welded either, but they're really high up, so I think that's probably why. I don't actually need those blocks. I do need these ones, though. I guess I could lower it a little bit. Yeah, I could lower it all the way to the ground right there, turn the sensors back on, turn the welders back on, and see if they can come back in and maybe weld this top stuff right here. All right, are you able to weld that stuff? Still no, not really. That's really the lowest I can get it. What are my sensors running up on? Is it that block right there? Yeah, it is that block. Okay, I can fix that actually. Here's what I'm gonna do. Let's go into here. I want our top extent to be more like 3.8 because I noticed there's a little bit of the prong that's a little bit sticking out. And then our left and right extent, I'm gonna set to 2 on the dot. And that should let it get a little closer. Because what it was doing was it was bumping up on this guy right here, even though that's not really in the way. So now that it's able to do that, it's still not able to weld these top things. So I don't know what to do about that. I think maybe literally another printer right here is what we need. I guess what I could do is I could unlock the rotor and let it turn. And maybe then this will get a little bit, because these are already set to back up if they're in too much trouble. So the rotor should allow it to actually get some of the stuff. It's bumping up on something. Oh, that's what. Oh, yeah, okay. Okay, so it looks like actually having that turn did get most of the stuff, but I'm still missing some of this stuff on the inside. So maybe yeah, a second set of stuff on the inside are going to be needed. All right, I got my other sensors back up and running. They're still show on HUD. Let me turn off the show on HUD real quick and see if this works. So sensors, I want to say show on HUD off, please. There we go. So we now have all of them. Let's go ahead and turn them on, extend the pistons, and turn the sensors on. Yeah, okay, so those two, yep, they're getting into position. Perfect, and that should be everything now built up. I'm noticing though they are kind of, oh, I know why. Oh, yep, that's my fault. Whoops, hang on. Sensors off, retract, please. So, why is my sensor not turning off? The sensor's off. Oh, it's not retracting though. Sensor E. Okay, so I actually used the build vision copy settings function, and what it did, it actually didn't copy the sensor things, so that's probably why. So I need piston, which makes sense because how would it know which piston to copy for, right? So for, what am I looking at? E? Okay, E. Extend. Okay, so with that, these should now all work. Let's go ahead and set piston extend. They're all extending. Let's turn sensors on, welders on. Let me make sure they're all, hang on. So now everything should be working. Yep, it looks like they're doing their little dance. Perfect. All right, the printer's set up. That was welded perfectly. Nice. I was looking at that block that wasn't welded before. So let's go ahead and turn it off. Turn the sensors off and retract the pistons there so it can go back to its original start. And actually, those two are a little faster than the others, but I don't really care that much right now. I think it's fine. Okay, so this right here is a Heretical John Mark III. We're going to rename it, of course, and we're going to renumber it as well. And it's going to become our platinum mining ship, which is going to mine over there. So let's start by removing this 4. This is going to become 5. There we go, number 5 right there. And then on our script over here, we're going to change this up a little bit to have number 5. We're running ship ID 4. We're going to run ship ID 5 instead. Okay. We'll do a check code here, make sure that's still good, and we should be good. All right, it should have enough power, so I'm gonna go ahead and remove that. We have the ship now over here with its info. It's currently that small grid, so we're gonna call this the Pam Unnamed. We're gonna name it in a second. I'll name it once I got the other one as well. And we're gonna fly it on over to the little Pam area over here. We're gonna land it over in one of these areas. All right, this first one's gonna get this premier landing pad right here, right next to the stairs. A nice and visible landing pad. And there we go, there's our connection. We'll press P, and let this one sit here for a second. We'll repaint it. Actually, let's repaint it to gray for now, or white, as like a temporary color. Did I just paint the entire grid? No, okay, it didn't paint the, everything was just already white. Okay, we'll paint it gray for now. And let's go make the second one, because we want 2 of these, one for the gold, one for the platinum. In fact, maybe we'll make 3. Now that we have a printer and we don't really have to do very much work to make a third one, let's make 3, why not? Let's go welders on, sensors on, extend. Do the thing. All right, let's bring that up a little bit, there we go. And let it do its thing. All right, this one we're just gonna watch, and hopefully it should do everything. It should handle it. All right, it's done its thing. Let's see if it's missed anything. It has actually missed a couple of these. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bring this up a little bit. We'll do the extend. Bring it up, see if it can get some of those. Because the blocks that it's missing are down here. Extend it even further. There we go. Now it was able to get some stuff, almost. Still trying to get that bit up there. If I can get it to come in a little further, maybe I can get those. Those are the ones I was having trouble with before as well. Yeah, okay, so if I raise it up high enough, it is able to get this stuff. Perfect. I think that's everything. We didn't have to turn it, we didn't have to do anything, it just got all the blocks. So there we go, there's our second PAM ship. We'll go ahead and do what we did before. Welders off, sensors off, pistons retract so we don't get smacked with them. We'll go ahead and remove that and we'll fly it on over. I'll need to change the program as well to be number 6 before I forget. Once I get to the base, I'll do that. So we'll have 3 PAM ships at this base. That's going to be pretty good. We'll have one get silver as well. Gold, silver, platinum. This is going to be our rare metals PAM base. All right, before I forget, this needs to be changed to number 6 in the code. That was good. And let's get the third one built up as well. So let's go ahead and extend our pistons. Sensors on, welders on, and let it do its thing. I need to connect this again. And maybe I'll start it down here to see how that handles. We'll start with the bottom and then we'll bring it down instead of bringing it up after. Actually, yeah, that's handling it a lot better because these are able to get in there before they even get the drills. Okay, there we go. They're gonna stop, of course, but let's bring the thing down now. A little bit, not too fast because we want them to have time to back up. All right, I think that might be about as far as I can bring it down. Did it get everything? I think it might have. Looking at the top, yeah, the top looks good. The inside right here, maybe there's a block down there that didn't get got. Maybe we'll do Operation Turn and see if it is able to get something that way. I think I want to make our pistons a little bit faster, actually. They're having a little trouble keeping up, so 0.5 will be their speed. That's not what I want to do. Sensors, please. Sensors off, retract. I don't know what I did. I told them to go into it, and I guess the sensors didn't pick up that was happening, so they just went straight in. But anyway, we now have our other ship built up, and it looks like that one block that wasn't welded was welded after we did the turning tech. So let's go ahead and remove that right there, and this will be ship number 7. Oh, that's how. I was trying to rotate it this way. I was like, that's not how a 7's written. No, it's like that. Okay, perfect. All right, we'll go ahead and disconnect. We'll change the script here, and we'll bring it on over. Our third PAM ship of the episode, and we were able to make those very quickly, although it took making an actual printer to be able to make them this quickly, but, you know, it's pretty good. All right, once the sun comes up, we'll bring these out. But let's start by naming them. So let's go in, and I named these after supporters. So supporters on YouTube or supporters on Patreon. I'll go through a list of people who are supporting, and I'll pick a random 3. A random 3 that haven't been used yet. We're not going to get another Heretical John PAM ship. That'd be a little confusing. So let's press P right there, lock that in, and we'll go do our naming thing. And I'm going to color them appropriately as well. So this will be our platinum ship. This will be our gold, and this will be our silver. So we'll color them appropriately. All right, I'll be right back with the names and see you in a second. All right, I've got everything named with supporter names. So first over here, we have the PAM Emil Skov right here from a supporter named Emil Skov. This is the one that's going to be mining platinum over there. So the Emil Skov will be the platinum one. We've got the PAM Sham Wolf right here, which is going to be mining the gold. So the Sham Wolf is the gold mining ship. And we finally got the PAM David Charlie 06, which will be mining the silver. So David Charlie 06, the silver miner. Now, while the sun was coming up, I was waiting for it, and I got the control panel stuff set up as well. So I think without doing much configuration to these, it should just work, right? This is a Todd Howard famous quote. Let's see if it does. When I press P and like move out, let's see if it actually recognizes my code. I'm not seeing anything, hang on. Like, it has recognized that the code is sent to the programmable block, but has it not done the thing? I don't think it's done the thing because I'm not seeing anything here. So maybe some little tweaking is needed. Give me 1 second and let me do a little bit of tweaking. So I'm thinking I probably only needed to recompile this, or maybe even just, oh yeah, there we go. I just need to recompile it and now it's there. So, okay, I guess let's try it again and see if it works. All right, let's try it. We're in the PAM Emil Skov right here. Let's disconnect, switch to our cam, and it's saying, oh, yep, it's saying the PAM Emil Skov is flying, and that's the code. And then if we land here, it should be saying that it's now landed at, well, it says PAM base. I need to actually change the code here, don't I? I need it to be saying 203, because we now have a new PAM base, so this is alt PAM base or whatever. All right, so that's the configuration there. It's now going to be running status code 203. But the problem with 203 is if I land again, you'll see that over here, it's going to give us an unrecognized code because 203 we haven't set up. It's unrecognized at the moment. So I got to real quick fly back over there and set that code up. So there's a little bit of configuration when you're setting up a new status code, but it's not a crazy amount. So all you have to do for a new status code is way down here when it's trying to recognize the status here in this big switch statement. All I have to do is tell it that there's a new status. So instead of 202, we have a 203 status. And if it gives us that status, then we know that we are going to be landed in the, I don't know what I'm going to call that base. You know what? Let's call it the special PAM base, but I'm gonna call it the spam base. It's the special PAM base for precious metals and stuff like that. So it's the spam base. Let's go ahead and check code, complete, and now we can finally do it, and it should recognize our code. All right, disconnect and reconnect. So looking back here, it should say, boom, we're processed. We're landed at the spam base. Nice. Okay, so if I go over to this one, we'll just make sure this one is working too. Let's go ahead and disconnect, check the code. It says it's flying. There we go. And if I reconnect, let's check the code. It should say that it's landed at the spam base. Nice. And over here, if I disconnect, boom, check the code. Let's see what it says. It's flying, perfect. And if I reconnect, it is landed at the spam base. All right, we now have everything set up. All of our codes are recognized. We have this stuff set up as well. Perfect. Awesome. Okay, now we have our PAM ships set up with our signal system, which I might overhaul in between this and next episode. I'm not sure, but we'll definitively figure that out at that point. Now we need to actually set them up. So I want this PAM ship right here to go to that platinum. Then I want this one to go to that gold, and I want this one to go to that silver. So let's figure out how we want to do this. They don't actually have a lot of power, do they? 28%. I think once we bring back our first load of ice, we'll have a lot more power on this base and we'll be able to charge ships a little bit easier. But anyway, let's go ahead and start this here. So I need to remember how to use the use PAM here. So I think we do a record. Yeah, okay. All right, so we're gonna record path and set home. And actually, just so that I am clear on how I want this to work, I want these to go out to at least this distance right here. And I think this one's gonna go out to this distance right here, and this one's gonna come out to this distance. I need steel plates, of course. This one's gonna come out to this distance right here so that they don't ever cross paths. Like they'll cross paths, but it'll come out to this distance and then go up and then over. So this one will have a slightly different path than it. And this one's gonna take a wider berth going that way. This one's gonna take a closer berth going closer to the solar panels. Okay, that's how we'll make sure they don't run into each other. All right, let's go ahead and record mining path here. Let's press number 3. Perfect. Okay, so we're gonna press P there. We're gonna go forward a little bit. We're gonna try to get to our marker that we set right there. Then we're gonna turn to the position that we wanna go. We're gonna start heading out this way. And we'll aim up so we have a little bit of height. Okay, so we're gonna bring it out this way. We're gonna come back in to get to the platinum over there. Okay, we're gonna come around here. Then we're gonna kind of start coming in this way. And the PAM should be, the platinum should be directly underneath, just very, very far, right? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come over and we're gonna go down toward where we want to mine. Oh, I'm overshooting a little bit, it's fine. We're gonna go down here. Got the ice marked right there. Got the nickel, and we've got the platinum. Okay, so for the platinum, we're gonna start our mining operation right about here. And we know the platinum's pretty deep. It's 60, right? So let's go back into first person. We'll stop our path recording there, and we're gonna set up a mining job. So this mining job is going to be, so we're really gonna want our depth to be like 60 or something, like something crazy, because it's pretty far down there, 65 even. And then I'm fine with this other, like everything else. Looking at it from this perspective, yeah, like, I mean, that's large, but I'm fine with that, I think. It's gonna grab some nickel too, I think, but I'm okay with the nickel. I think with that, we're just gonna go ahead and start a new job and let it kind of do its thing. All right, Pam, Emil, Skov, you've got this. Get us some platinum. So I don't think it's dropping ice, which is fine. For now, we can use the ice. Okay, let's go set up the other ones. We've got the Pam, Sean Wolf, and the Pam, David, Charlie that we need to set up over with the gold and the silver. Looking over here where our gold and silver, it is pretty far to be fair. Ooh, what are you? We've got something over here. Ah! Okay, that was a bit of a hard hit. Oh, this is a little bit of a scrap thing that we didn't scrap. Like a little mini base we left behind. Now I remember. Yeah. From the, was it the outpost? Yeah, I guess that outpost. We forgot to name that properly. Okay, so the silver is just down here. I'm gonna go ahead and dig down until I get to it so that I know exactly where it is. And then the gold, I'm not sure about. I'll have to find that. All right, the silver is indeed straight down, and then the gold is to that side. Okay, so let's go up facing that side. The gold would be kind of over here. All right, there we go. I know where I want to put these things now. The one block right there is where I want to put the silver one, and the 2 block here is where I want to put the gold one. I'll remove those once I get the ships over here. So let's go ahead and do that. They're just for marking purposes. It actually looks like the Emil Skov made it back in one piece. I think it's gonna sit here until its batteries are charged because they're on recharge mode. It's trying to grab power from the base, but that's fine. We'll let it hang out for a second. Let's go ahead and get the Shaman Wolf set up here. So, oh, actually, you know what? I have these markers wrong. I think I want this one to go out a little farther and this one to go out a little closer because I want this one to take the outer path. So let's go ahead and do that. We'll record our path right here. Boom, and let's get this going. Press P to disconnect. We'll go out until we're at about our distance here. I'll even go a little farther than our waypoint. Then we'll turn to where we want to go. We'll go up a little bit, and we'll start on our way to the right of the marker there. As long as we stay to the right of the marker here, oh, sorry, to the left of the marker. As long as we stay to the left of the marker here and then to the right of the marker on the other one, we should be good. All right, here we are at our location. Let's come down here a little bit, and I think we're gonna go at about this level right here. So we need to go down about 50. Let's go ahead and stop our recording there. Boom. And let's go ahead and set up a mining job. We'll bump our depth all the way up, and yeah, we can't actually see it. Good. Okay, we'll bump our depth all the way up, and we'll stay to the side of that marker right there so that we don't get into the area of the silver. So depth is up to 50, up to 48. Let's bump it up a little higher even. Let's go 55. We'll go 60, why not? And everything else I'm fine with. Let's go ahead and start that job. And as we do that, maybe I'll keep this because it's actually not in the way of that. Or maybe I'll move it back just a little bit right there, so it's even less in the way. But yeah, we'll let Shaman Wolf do its work over there, and let's go and grab the final one, which is going to be the David Charlie 06, which is going to be our silver one. At this point, you guys know how it goes. We're going to go ahead and start our, we're going to go ahead and start our recording path right there. We're going to disconnect. We're going to go out to about our marker over here. Maybe I'll go in a little less. That's fine. We'll turn to where we want to go, and we'll stay a little bit to the right of our marker over there. We'll aim up, and we'll go this way. Hey, there we go. We've got the Shaman Wolf coming back already from a successful first mission. I highly doubt it got to any of the gold, but it started, so that's good. We'll keep this one kind of to the right over here, and we'll come in for our mission right over here. Yep, it's dropping ice. That's fine. I don't want it to put a crazy amount of ice in the base anyway. Okay, we'll go ahead and get ourselves in position here, and I think that's probably going to be good. The silver is going to be pretty deep, so actually I'll back up right here so we're right over that silver. Let's end that recording, go down, set up a mining job, change that depth to something crazy like 70 or whatever, because it's pretty far down there. And then with everything else, I think that's going to be okay. So let's go ahead and start that mission with what we've got here. Boom, there it is. All right, and again, I think I'm fine with this marker, having this marker there. So the gold's mining over there, the silver's mining over here, and their paths should not cross. We should be good. Yeah, so we're gonna let our stuff chill over here. They're gonna try and power up if they can. And in fact, our hydrogen engine should be on now, because we should have brought back at least a little bit of ice from those other missions. Yeah, he's still dropping ice, but I bet you he hasn't dropped. Well, no, it's actually not dropping anymore. Have you dropped all of your ice? Hide empty? Yeah, it's dropped all of its ice. It's come back empty, basically. Did you bring any ice? Oh, whoops, we actually never connected this. That's why this hasn't started yet. There we go, we'll connect it right there. We're missing small steel tubes. Okay, I'll go grab some from Maine here. It's not a very far journey. There we go, so that should now let this start up. Yep, there we go, our engines are starting up and we should start getting power. Fully depleted in 8 minutes. Hang on, what? Are you guys both working? Yeah, these guys are so efficient at dropping off their ice that they come, but by the time they get back, they have no more ice left to give. Maybe I should turn off their ice things. Can I tell them to go out again? Like, is that what next hole is? If I tell them... Oh, maybe not. Oh. I've run out of ice. Well, they've done it. The base is out of power. They sucked all the power from the base. So I could add another battery for now. Potentially. I'll throw in another battery. Why not? If that can get them out there. I'm trying to figure out how to get them to go on their next thing without waiting for the battery to be like 100% full. I was looking at the behavior settings and it says the minimum's 20%, but they're still not going and doing their thing. All right, there's the other one. It's fully depleted in 4 minutes. But can I get this guy to go out and do his thing in that time? Its battery's almost full. Yeah, it's 93. All right, the Emil Skov ship is almost full. Let's see if once it gets to 100%, it goes out and does... There we go. Okay, so for some reason, they do wait until 100%, even though this says the minimum is 20%. But yeah, it's now on its mission, and I told it not to get rid of any ice. So I think that's good. And these guys also will not get rid of any ice, but they still want to charge to 100%. So I'll let them do their thing. But now that we're not getting rid of any ice, this should have a lot more ice to work with, which means these should stay on for longer. And these should be connected, by the way. I think they are. Right? I'm gonna toggle this recharge real quick. Let these guys kind of chill on recharging. I'm gonna wait until the Emil Skov comes back so that we can get our power up and running again. And while we're out here, I guess I'll grab a little bit of this that was dropped earlier and throw this into the this thing. All right, that seems to have postponed our power problems for a little bit. I set this to recharge, and it's recharged in 2 hours, so that's good. These guys as well. I wish I could set to recharge, but yeah, we'll wait for this ship to come back wherever it is, over there somewhere. I guess I could always pull some uranium too. I do have uranium from the main base that I could toss on this guy, just for now. You know what? Actually, I could revamp this base a little bit. Let me do a little work. Let me cook a little bit. Oh, hey, while I'm over here cooking, the Emil Skov has come back with some platinum, maybe? Who knows? Let's find out. We'll let it do its landing thing. I'm a little worried that didn't go all the way to its mark there, but that's fine. As long as it comes back in one piece and doesn't run into other ships, that is good enough for me. All right, I've done a tiny amount of cooking, and with what I've done, we should now be able to process more ice than we were before. So let's go ahead and turn this on to auto. We'll get a little bit of power in here. That should start those engines up, and we should now have 2 engines running instead of 1. So well, no, you are filling up. Okay, that's good. And you are filling up as well, which means both of those are on. So how are you doing? Fully depleted in 10 seconds. I'm going to turn you back to recharge then, if you don't mind, so we can hold that power. And then this should have a lot of ice. Yeah, 32K in there. How are the other ones looking? I'm curious. If there's 32 in one of them, 22 in another one, 75... Oh, sorry, 22 in this one as well. 90 in this one. That's good. That's pretty decent. So now all you have to do is recharge a little bit from 93 to 100, and then you can go out on your mission again. And these guys should still be recharging, albeit a little slowly, but I'm not done cooking yet because what I'm doing is I'm basically extending how many engines we've got going on over here. All right, here we go. We now have 4 total hydrogen engines, and I'm sorry for the noise. They're very, very loud. How filled are you? Doesn't tell me from here. Can I see from here? Yeah, so they're not filled yet. I think these guys have to fill up completely before they'll give... Wait, hang on. Where are you going down? We shouldn't be going down. We should still be processing ice, right? Yeah, we are still processing ice. That's curious. Oh, maybe you're going down because you're actually running now, too. So you then... Yeah, okay, so you're now recharging. Okay, I see what's going on. I see what's happening here. Let's get our O2H2s under here. All right, there we go. 5 O2H2s, and they should be getting ice. They are, which means you guys should be filling up. You are, which means you should be still recharging in 40 minutes, maybe? Or 27 minutes. What if I turn you off auto? Depleted. It's kind of even. So if I turn you off auto, that means you guys should be still getting your full charge here. Yeah, so you're at, well, how are you at 76? You were at 90 a second ago. Wait. Oh, no, I thought I was looking at the Emil Skov. I was looking at the Sean Wolf over here. Oh, the Emil Skov already went off on a mission. Okay, I see. You are at, okay. Yeah. I was confused. Let's actually see what the Emil Skov's been up to, because it's been on 3 missions now, while the others have only been on 1. Let's see how far it's gotten in its mission. So over here, the Emil Skov is doing its work, and it's very slowly going down, but it's getting there. The platinum's over there, and it's about here. So yeah, I'd say it's about halfway to the platinum, actually. So in 2 missions, it got about halfway. So probably 2 more, it'll actually get to the platinum and start getting its first bits of plat. Nice. All right, good stuff. We have already 188,000. That was 1 mission right there that brought back that much ice. So this is really going to quickly become full. That's why we have the overflow right there. And I'm curious, by the way, if we go over here, I want to see, does it show the correct? Yeah, it does show the Emil Skov as flying, and it shows the Sham Wolf as landed at spam, and the David Charlie has landed at spam as well. So it looks like that's working fine. We haven't gotten any crazy issues yet. It's gonna happen at some point, I'm sure. An overlap issue. That's the thing that you in the comments have been warning me about, is overlap issues where we're gonna get our signals overlapping. And I have a solution for it when it happens, but I'm not gonna implement it until it happens because it's work. There she is. The Pam Emil Skov coming back from a journey. Looking very heavy, actually. But it's full of ice, I'm sure. Oh, there we go. Executed that perfectly. That was a very nice turn. And there we go. The final turn. And here it comes for the connection. Let's see this. Let's see this beauty, right? Oh, there goes the Sham Wolf going out for a mine. There it is. Boom, connected, nice. And the Sham Wolf going all the way out to its marker like it should. Headed up, and then headed on over to the gold. Go find the gold. All right, I think I'm gonna let this run and let's see how they do. I'm gonna give them a couple of missions. Maybe I'll go on fast mode, looking right here, or maybe looking right here or something, and we'll see how they do. We'll give it a few runs. So speed mode, 3, 2, 1, boom. All right, that's about as long as I could stand there. We were able to see, actually, wait, what the heck? What was that? Do you see that shadow? Oh, that was that ship just booking it. Okay, we were able to see all the ships come and go, and this one's actually coming back now. Did we actually get any material, I wonder, during all that? No, not quite, but we did get a lot of ice. We have almost a third, maybe a fourth of this thing filled up with ice. So I probably want to start telling them to drop ice. Let's go back here, boop, turn that on, and when the other ones come back, I'll tell them as well. The Emil Skov over here should be pretty close now to the platinum. In fact, any second now should be getting to the platinum. Let's do a quick check over here. In fact, it's just now getting back to its position. I'm gonna get in there before it does, just to see. No. Yeah, it's pretty close. Wait, hang on. Oh, okay, it's really close. No, don't lock me in. Ah! Okay, should be getting platinum now. The other ones, on the other hand, should be. Well, let's see how close they are. All right, back over here, we'll start with the silver, I guess. Let's look over here, see if it's gotten to the silver yet. Not quite. Where is the silver even? Well, it says it's down there. I guess if we keep going down a little further over here, we should eventually get to it. Yeah, the silver's kind of far down. The gold might be a little closer, actually. Let's see how far the Sham Wolf has gotten with the gold. Sham Wolf has... Oh, because I told it to do next hole, so it didn't do that little bit. Whoops. That's my bad. But it actually should be getting to the gold pretty soon. Okay, maybe not that soon, but, like, eventually it should be getting to the gold. There we go. Yeah, eventually it'll get to the gold. It's got to go about that far. So, we'll see. Okay, and as the Emil Skov and the Sham Wolf come back at the same time, we should be getting our first little bits of material. Maybe not gold, but platinum for sure. This should give us a little bit of that. So, let's give it a second. I turned back on the ice droppers. So that's why you see ice dropping. Let's head back over here. So we should see some ores being pulled in here. We do have platinum in the connector. It just needs to be pulled. And it is not being pulled. Why not? Oh, I know why. It's in this connector. It got pulled into this. Yeah, so we didn't actually set a distinction for where it gets pulled. Either into that or into that. So either is fine. But yeah, we now have platinum coming back. Our first little bits of actual ore. Nice. We love to see it. And we hope to see some gold and some silver soon. But as the sun goes down, I think that's probably a good place to end this episode. We've got a lot set up. I didn't plan on doing the entire printer thing. I planned on just making these two from scratch and not even having a third one. But the printer was cool, I think, and we were able to set it up. Here, we'll get one last look at the printer over here before we end the episode so we can reflect on what we've done. Of course, it's shrouded in darkness over here. But, you know, it's a proper printer, I think. Fully inspired by the main menu, you know, the little videos that play when you're sitting at the main menu. Fully inspired by something they had in there. That was pretty cool. But yeah, if you guys like this episode, please hit the like button, put your comments and your suggestions down below in the comments section for things you'd like to see in future episodes. Probably next episode, we'll go ahead and build that transport ship from there to the PAM base. And we still do have to actually renovate the recaffeinator here, remove those subgrids, make it a little bit easier to fly. But with that, we're going to end the episode there. So I will see you all in the next episode of Space Engineers Survival. I don't know why I like to do something funny like that at the end, but here we go. See you guys.